Okay, let's talk Aaron Judge. Now we know the Yankees plan on offering him an extension, and they call it a big extension, next week. I don't know what day. I don't know, what the details are yet. But once those come out, I will be putting out a video with the details of the extension. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't yet, hit the notification so you don't miss it. I have 3 numbers in mind, okay? And 3 numbers are what I think the Yankees are most comfortable offering, which I think is 6 years. What I think the Judge camp might ask for, which is probably 8, maybe even more. And I think the sweet spot, they'll probably be the compromise point, which is 7 years. And to me, the number that keeps popping up in my head is 7 years, between $210 and $245 million, which is $30 to $35 million per year. I think it's a representative number that he's probably going to be able to get, not only from the Yankees, but from multiple teams. Do I think there are teams that might be willing to offer him 9 or 10 years? Probably. Maybe. So if I were the Yankees, I would come out with a solid offer. No lowball offer. If you're going to lowball the guy, your franchise player who's been here for a long time now, why would he not reject it? I would, if I were him. So the offer's got to be strong. He's your homegrown guy. Now, a couple things to factor in. He's never had 2 consecutive healthy seasons. Okay? Everybody knows that. The other thing on the offset of that is when he's healthy, he's wildly productive. He's this absolute stud. Okay? And he is also the face of the franchise, the most, the biggest merch seller from the Yankees and almost, all of baseball. He's the top 3 seller of merchandise. His jersey sells more than most everybody. So, he's a revenue machine for the Yankees. He's wildly popular. So, these are things that have to be factored in. He's good for business. So, extending him would be good for business. Now, and I've said this before, and it's, not many people agree with me, but you have to come out with a solid offer immediately. If I was Cashman or Hal, and if he turns down a 7-year offer of good money or whatever, to me, he turns it down, you trade him immediately. I do not hesitate for a minute. I move him. That's it. Because you have teams who would be willing to fork over a lot of prospects, just like the Braves did for Matt Olson, and give him a huge contract too. And let them, they're going to give him 9 or 10 years. Let the other team do that and pay for a bunch of decline years. Okay, I know it's not a popular decision, but this is, to me, I think it's the best avenue because it's the only way the Yankees could extract. If you're not going to get Aaron Judge back, then you have to get something of return, of value back. Okay, and because if you let them walk in free agency, they get nothing, and that is a huge position to fill. Those are huge shoes to fill if you lose the guy. So you get a boatload of prospects if he turns down a very good extension offer. But I think it's good. I think 7 years is going to be the minimum. I think his floor is going to be $200 million, as it should be, and I think it's going to be some. I'm interested to see what the Yankees' initial offer is going to be. And whether it's going to be back and forth. But again, if I would not be negotiating against ourselves. If he turns it down, I'll come back and give him $50 million more. Because it could, hopefully not, but it could turn into a Jacoby Ellsbury situation. We don't want that. The Yankees don't want to tie themselves up. Even though they have lots of money coming off the books in the next 3 to 4 years, $100 million plus, it doesn't mean, I would rather make not make a move than a bad one at this point, because the Yankees have made a lot of bad moves. Contracts, especially Ellsbury, Pavano, and a bunch of others. So, and I know he's the homegrown guy. He's a superstar, and very rarely do they have one that turns into a superstar that's homegrown. So extending him would be of utmost importance. But I think it's important to be reasonable and smart about it too. So you guys let me know what you think. What do you think the offer should be? Would you trade him if he turns it down? Okay, how many years? How much money? Let's get into this. Let's go.